Hi, I am Nate from AniFan. This is part 1 of my recap of a TV series called Renegade Immortal. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to keep track of further parts. At the beginning of the story, it is told that thousands of years ago, the most powerful treasure of Dauduman, named the Heavenly Pearl, accidentally fell into the reverse dust realm. At that time, it was taken by Situ Nan, the most powerful member of the Juke Kingdom. Legend has it that with the help of this pearl, one can conquer the ancient immortal realm. Hence, many people were fighting to get their hands on it. In the next scene, three masters are seen fighting together against Situ Nan because they wanted to take the heavenly pearl from him. However, Situ Nan was also very powerful, and he was single-handedly giving them a great defeat. One of the masters then tells Situ Nan to give the pearl to him, but Situ Nan refuses to surrender the pearl and tells him to stop talking nonsense because, to achieve the heavenly pearl, he needs to defeat Situ Nan first. Upon hearing this, the master remarks that perhaps such power has gotten into his head. All three masters came together and prepared to attack him. They activated their giant body, yet Situ Nan wasn't ready to accept defeat easily. He wielded his powerful sword once again to counter their assault. Suddenly, one of the masters unleashed a powerful attack, injuring Situ Nan slightly. Angered by this, Situ Nan proclaimed himself as the best master of the Suzaku kingdom, contrasting himself against the three masters from the outer world who aimed to conquer him collectively. He questioned the fairness of their actions. In response, the second master proposed sparing Situ Nan's life in exchange for the heavenly pearl. However, Situ Nan, standing firm in his prowess, refused to yield the pearl and readied himself for further combat. Subsequently, Situ Nan summoned his martial spirit, the Fire Phoenix, to confront them. Observing this, the masters also summoned their martial spirits, preparing to attack Situ Nan. A spectacular battle ensued between them. Knowing he couldn't hold them off for long fighting alone, Situ Nan foresaw his imminent defeat. Eventually, despite his resilience, the combined efforts of the masters led to Situ Nan's defeat. The three masters then utilized their powers to swiftly eliminate Situ Nan, aiming to end his life without delay. However, Situ Nan had no regrets and suddenly unleashed the power of the Death Finger because he knew he had no other option but to sacrifice his body. He didn't want the heavenly pearls to fall into the wrong hands at any cost. Witnessing this, the three masters were surprised, but attempted to capture the heavenly pearl as quickly as possible. Before they could make their move, Situ Nan's body was absorbed by the heavenly pearl and destroyed. Despite this, Situ Nan vowed to return one day to face them again and seek revenge. In the following scene, we meet a boy named Lin, who is engrossed in reading a book on martial arts and cultivation. In reality, his parents were very poor, and he managed to earn a living by crafting wood carvings of the immortals. One day, a man accompanied by his goons arrived at their house. It turned out that Lin's father owed this man some money, and he had come to collect this month's interest. The men forcefully took away the money Lin's parents had saved. Lin's father pleaded with the man not to take the money, explaining that they had saved it for their son's exam, for Lin's future. Despite the father's pleas, the man and his goons refused to listen and behaved rudely. The man angrily dismissed Lin's father's concerns about the future, stating that if he couldn't repay the clan's debt, discussing a future was pointless. As the man started to leave, Lin's mother begged him to stop and pleaded once more to spare the money. She explained that without it, their son wouldn't be able to participate in the exam, which would ruin his future. It was at this moment that Lin intervened, telling his parents that they shouldn't beg and compromise their dignity. The man craftily ordered Lin's father to have the money ready for next month's interest, then callously departed, pushing Lin's father to the ground. Lin's father broke down in dismay with this incident and said, "First, we were betrayed by our own Wang family, and now we're in an even bigger mess because of this debt." Lin's mother started crying and regretfully told her son to forgive them for not being able to help him participate in the exams next year. Suddenly, Lin's fourth uncle walked into their house. Seeing him, Lin's father asked why he had come. The fourth uncle replied, "This time, I've come for something important." He explained that in their Java kingdom, the Hang Yu sect was going to recruit new disciples for a team of immortal cultivators, and he wanted Lin to participate, as the Wang family had 3 quotas for it. Hearing this, Lin's parents became very sad. They had heard that immortal cultivating was unimaginably dangerous and were afraid of what might happen to their son. They decided to gather money somehow so Lin could participate in next year's country exams here instead. However, Lin had already made up his mind to take part in immortal cultivation. He told his parents that he didn't want them to be bullied anymore and disliked seeing them work so hard all the time. He wanted to enter the immortal sect, believing that once he became a disciple there, no one would dare to bully his parents. The 4th uncle insisted Lin's father agree to it, and Lin assured his parents that he would not let them down, promising to give his best efforts to achieve this. Finally, Lin's father gave his approval, and they headed towards the Wang family mansion. On the way, Lin's father told him that he was once ousted from that place and never thought he would have to return someday. He advised Lin not to take anything they said seriously. Upon reaching the Wang family mansion with Lin, his parents, and the uncle, Wang Ho was delighted to see them. Wang Shu, the most talented among the 3, was also present. After a while, an immortal appeared to take the 3 of them. Seeing Wang Shu, the immortal immediately commented, "You seem really talented. Now I know why Uncle Dao's son favors you." Hearing the praises, Wang Shu thanked the immortal, at which point the immortal took out another 3 swords, indicating how they were to travel to the immortal sect. Lin requested to talk to his parents before departing. The immortal granted permission, and Lin went to his parents to seek their blessings. He assured them that he would give his best efforts to be selected. His mother responded that even if he didn't get chosen, it would be all right and urged him to return to them as soon as possible. Lin reassured her, asking them not to worry too much, and left. Led by the immortal, the group began their journey, flying on their swords toward the Hang Yu sect. Along the way, they marveled at many amazing sceneries in disbelief. Finally, they reached the Hang Yu sect, but they noticed numerous students already present. Shortly after, the sect leader, accompanied by a few elders, appeared before the students, and they all bowed in respect. The sect leader informed the students that Hang Yu sect had stringent selection processes, and only a few exceptional students would advance to the final stage. He mentioned conducting a spiritual roots test as the foremost assessment for immortal cultivation. The elders began testing the students one by one using their powers. For a while, no one qualified. Then it was Wang Su's turn. After testing his spiritual root, an elder asked if he was Wang Su, mentioned by Brother Do's son. Wang Su got qualified based on this recognition. Next was Wang Ho's turn. He bowed to the elder and offered praise, presenting a 300-year-old Ganoderma lucidum as a special gift. Impressed, the elder qualified Wang Ho. Finally, it was Lin's test, but he didn't qualify like the others. Disheartened, Lin realized he wouldn't be able to do anything for his parents. However, the sect leader announced that the spiritual root test was only the first round, offering hope that the trials weren't over yet, and that they would test them in other ways. The leader explained that while having a spiritual root was important for immortal cultivation, those who displayed diligence and perseverance could also qualify. Excitement and hope rekindled among the previously disqualified students. He then directed their attention to a ladder suspended mid-air, announcing that whoever reached its top before sunset would pass the test. Conversely, failure to complete the task before sunset would eliminate them. He emphasized that if they encountered challenges and felt unable to proceed, they should call for help, and the immortals would rescue them. The task commenced, and everyone geared up to start climbing the ladder. Meanwhile, Lin considered this his final opportunity and resolved to complete the challenge at any cost. He began ascending the ladder along with others, but suddenly, another individual pushed Lin, causing him to fall down. Simultaneously, a student climbing ropes found himself engulfed in fire, immobilized. The immortals swiftly intervened, rescuing the boy and any others in distress. Elsewhere, a student was showered by a powerful stream of water, causing him to fall from the ladder. Another was jolted by electric shocks. One after another, many students failed the test due to these unexpected challenges. Lin, despite being badly injured, persisted in moving upward. Suddenly, he fell into an area surrounded by lava. Nevertheless, this obstacle didn't deter Lin. He continued moving forward, even as the scorching lava slowly engulfed him. After a while, the intense heat and excruciating pain made it nearly impossible to progress further. Ultimately, he succumbed to the lava, seemingly drowning in its fiery embrace. However, Lin didn't give up. Somehow, he managed to swim ashore, finding that the lava had disappeared from his body, and the top of the ladder was within reach. As he rushed toward it, he realized he had reached the edge of the boulder's end, leaving no visible path to ascend further. Disheartened by the thought of losing after coming so close to victory, Lin's passion for immortality drove him to seek victory by any means necessary. Determined to advance, he walked beyond the end and, to his surprise, discovered an invisible path leading to the top. He joyfully increased his pace, but was suddenly struck by something. He noticed an invisible wall obstructing his path. Despite his best efforts, he couldn't break it down. Then, an announcement declared that time was up, leaving him feeling furious and defeated. In a fit of frustration, Lin backed up and charged toward the invisible wall, hoping to break through it one last time. He collided with the wall and fell, only to find himself on a mysterious land where he encountered Situ-Nan's soul. The soul addressed him, stating, "Finally, the day has come." And that's where the episode ends. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to keep track of further episodes.